Yeah, hi there. We are continuing with our data wrangling playlist. In this tutorial, we are going to cover how to deal with categories which have few categories which are rare. That is dealing with rare categories in the categorical variables. So in any categorical variable, we often see some categories appear a lot more frequent, whereas there will be some categories which appear only in few observations. So the categories that appear only in few observations, that is only a tiny proportion of data contains those categories. We call them as rare categories. So it could be less than 1% or less than 2% depending upon the data or the problem. For this particular tutorial, I am considering any such category which is present in a categorical variable, and if it is less than 5% uh, in terms of its presence in the column, then I'm calling it as a rare category column. So basically, there are at high level there are two ways to deal with such rare categories in the categorical columns. One approach is that we merge all categories which are the rare categories, that is less than some threshold. In my case, let's say 5%. So merge all such categories which are less than 5% present into the most dominant category. For example, let's say I'm asking people what is their favorite color, and let's say majority of them say that red is their favorite color. But there are very few people, let's say very few people, 1% or 2% say 1% say that black is their favorite color, 2% say there is white is their favorite color. Because their percentage is so small, so following this approach, what I'll do, I'll merge those categories into the dominant category. That is, I'll replace white and black uh, with a red. So that's one approach. So what it does, it makes the dominant category more dominant, and it will take away the information that is present in the rare category away. So that's the one downside if we are following this approach. The another approach, which is slightly more reasonable approach, is to group all such categories which are less than 5% and give it a new category label. It could be like rare or other. So again, taking the same example of colors, if I'm asking again the favorite color of the people, and majority of them say red, but there are few people, a small percentage of people who say red, who say black or white. So what I'll do, instead of merging black and white into the red, what I'll do, I'll make a new category called as other. For example, one dominant category is red and the other category will be other. So I'll map black and white to this other color. So in this way, we know that there is certain amount of data, even though it's a small in percentage, which is there, which is different from the dominant category, and it is rare. Okay, so moving further, so let's say we are dealing with the data which is related to the house price. So before that, I'm importing the libraries as usual: NumPy, Pandas, Seaborn, and Matplotlib. And I'm reading a data from a file which contains the uh, house price. Okay, so I'm reading it, and then I'm importing train test split from sklearn.model.selection. And then what I'm doing is I'm just splitting this data, the data which I read into the data frame df into train and test. Similarly, I'm splitting the into it y train and y test, which are the actual sale price of the house. Okay, and so that is fine. I mean, just splitting the data like we normally do whenever we get it into train and test. And test size is 30% and random state is 0, so that we can reproduce it. Now let's start with one such column. I'm taking it street. So I'm taking the street column from the train dataset, and we'll first find out the number of unique values it is having. It is two unique values. So okay, so this is a This is a category with low cardinality. Fine. Let's say what are these two values. So I can print these two values as using xtrain street dot unique. It will print the unique values which are present in this particular column street. So these are two values. One is gravel, the and other is paved. So these are the two values. Okay. Now I'm just creating a function. What it does, it displays the category in percentage. That is, for any given categorical column, it will display the percentage of different categories which are present in that column. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm passing the data, and which is actually a data frame, and the column which will be the categorical column. Okay, data and specifying that specific column, and using dot value underscore counts and normalize equals to true, it will give me in terms of normalized frequency for each of the categories. And then I'm appending to it an apply function, in which what I'm doing, I'm just multiplying that normalized frequency by 100 and concatenating the percentage symbol so that I get the output in the form of percentage. Okay, and with the percentage symbol as well. So this is done, and let's say now I want to see. Now we know for the street there are two different categories. Now I want to see what is the percentage distribution of these categories. So I'll call this function display category percentage, and I'll pass to it data as xtrain and column is street. So this will give me in terms of percentage, there is 99.5% values are related with the paved and 0.5% with gravel. So what we get is the majority of the houses are located on the paved street. So in a situation like this, when we have one category which is very dominating in that variable, then we can say that almost totality of the observations belong to the same level. So because 99.5% means 99.5% means almost all the data points are there, just only a handful, 0.5% belongs to different category. So in such cases, we can think of merging the rare category with the dominant category. Okay, let's continue further. Now we have different categorical variable scenarios. Okay, so if I talk, we have one such scenario in which there is one dominating category and most of the observations share the same level. That is one such case. Other case is in the categorical variable, we have different types of categories. They will be dominating, but there are other categories as well which have a slightly fair representation in that categorical column. And the third is the high cardinality column. That is, we have a column in which there are a number of categories present, a lot of categories. Okay, so that is called as the high cardinality. So cardinality means basically the number of distinct values. Let's say if there is if there is a categorical column having two or three distinct values, then we say its cardinality is low because there are only two or three distinct values at present. If the categorical column is such that it has a lot of distinct values, then its cardinality is high. So let's say anything usually above than 10, we call it as a high cardinality column. Again, there is no thumb rule, it's just that depends upon the data and the problem you're dealing with. Okay, so let's take the first case where we are dealing with a variable which is low cardinality, but it is having a dominant category. Okay, so I've created a function which is called as get small category percentage. So basically, what I'll do, I'll pass a data frame to this function, and this function it will check whether it will first check the type of the column. For each of the columns, it will loop through it and check the type of the column. If its type is O, that is, it is object type, and if the number of unique values for that column is less than 3, then we call it is a low cardinality column. And then I'm just displaying the percentage of those categories within that column using the function display category percentage, which we had created earlier. If I just show above, this is the one we created, display category percentage. And if I just call this function get small category percentage, we'll get this. So the first column that we are getting is the street, which is low cardinality, having only two different categories. Another uh, categorical column is utilities. Again, it is low cardinality, having two different categories only. And the third one is the central layer, having only two different values, external quality frequencies, and couple of other more categorical variables are there, which are having less than three, that is only two or one uh, different categories. Now, if you see in most of these uh, categorical columns, there is one dominant category. For example, here you see this is the dominant category, 99.5%. Here the dominant category having 99.9%. This again is the dominant category in central air, having 93% data. But if you see the other category, no, which is more than 5%. So what we'll do, we will not make any change for this particular uh, uh, feature or column, because the rare category is more than our threshold of 5% that we have assumed in this particular scenario. Again, it is more than our threshold, so we will not make any changes in all of these. However, for the categorical columns where we have a very small fraction of rare category, then we can think of merging it with the dominant category, but not wherever we are getting at least 5% or more than 5%. So continuing further, let's see, we take variables which have few categories, that is more than two categories. Okay, so I'm taking three such columns. One is mass VNR type, this is masonry veneer type. Other is external quality, which actually evaluates the quality of the material on the exterior. And the next is the basement condition, which evaluates the general condition of the basement. Okay, now if I again call the same function display category percentage, we see that okay, this first variable, which is masonry veneer type, it is having four categories, and similarly the other one is having four categories, so at least more than three categories. But if you see, there is yes, there is obviously one dominant category, but the other one is also having a fair amount of data, like 29%, 33%. But in this case, if you see, the dominant category is 91%, but the others are all less than 5%. Similarly, in this case, the rare category is only 1%, and in the external quality, the rare categories are 1% and 2.9%. So the approach that we can do in this case is, uh, instead of in the case of basement condition, I mean, the ideal approach is, instead of merging all these categories into the dominant category, it's better to combine all these and name it as other or the rare category, so that we will have ultimately two categories. One is STA, which is 91%, and other is the rare category, which is roughly 9.1% or close to, yeah, 9.1%. Now, similarly, in this case, now even if you combine these two, 2.9 and 1.2, this will make roughly 4.2%. Even after combining it, it's less than even 5%. So in that case, for external quality, we can think of merging these two rare categories with the dominant category. However, in this case, this BRKCM, which is 1%, very less, we can again think of merging this value with the dominant category. So depending upon how much data, how much percentage of the distribution of data is there among the categories, we can think of either to merge it or uh, to let it appear as a separate category. Now what I'm doing, I'm just checking if there are any missing data. Yes, I found some missing data, so I'm creating a function impute any. What it will do, it will for each of the categories for which we found the missing data, it will find out the most frequent category and replace the missing data with that most frequent value. This I'm doing both in the train and the test data set. Basically, whatever functions or whatever changes we are applying in the train, the same we have to apply in the test data set as well. Now, after missing data imputation, we can check, okay, there is no missing data, so that is fine. Now, let's take one such column and display the percentage of the distribution of category. So this is before um any imputation. Now, what we can do is we can create a function which actually does the imputation of the rare categories. So I'll just quickly go through the code of this function. So what I'm doing it, I'm passing the train and the test and the variable. Okay. So this is the data set, train data frame. This is the test data frame. This is the variable for which we are going to perform the imputation. First, what I'm doing is I'm finding the most frequent category which is present in the train data set. Once I know this is the most frequent category, I'm finding out all those categories which are rare. So the definition of rare is if any category is present in the categorical column or the column that is being passed, and if that percentage is less than 5%, I'm calling it as a rare category. So I'm accumulating all such rare categories in a list. Now we have two approach. One approach is where we replace rare category by the most frequent value or the most frequent category which is present in that column. And the another approach is we replace the rare category uh, by another by some keyword like rare or other. So in a way we are creating another category. In this case, I'm using rare. So this is what we are doing. So instead of making changes in the original column, I'm creating two new columns. One column representing the frequency and other column representing the rare. So if I'm making the replacement using the frequency most frequent method, then it will be present in this variable underscore frequency column. And if I am following the replacement, that is imputation, using the rare method, then it will present in the variable underscore rare column.